What up? What up? What up? It's the Tri-State Boys. Yes, Philly, Jersey, New York. I am John Bat 426 from the city of brotherly love. And to my left,
Uh, it's Jdagod here from Queens. Queens get the money. It's good,
yeah,
yeah.
he's too busy yelling at people in the game chat on Rivals. He missed his cue. No, I'm playing. All right, and to my far left,
What's up, guys? Ultimate Speedster here. I'm representing Jersey. We're here to talk about some of that Spider-Man Brand New Day.
yes, and as you can tell for how subdued he is, he's been out running across the rooftops of Georgia trying to be Spidey, but he's not quite Spidey. No, I'm playing.
I wore my Spider-Man shirt for the occasion too.
Oh, okay. Hey, I got a
A
shirt
little
on
bit of
you.
an oldie.
Yeah. I got a shirt on you might appreciate. This is from the International Boxing Hall of Fame we went to. So
It is cool, yeah.
yeah, I'm sure you would have liked to seen all the. They had the actual ring. They had the Madison Square Garden ring from when Muhammad Ali fought Joe Frazier. They had the check stubs. Like they both got paid $2.5 million. You would
Hmm.
appreciate it. But anyway, we're not here to talk about boxing. We're here to talk about Spider-Man Brand New Day. This is the spoiler review. I have not done a spoiler review on my channel for this movie quite yet. I think this is the what? This is the first full week, right? That the movie's
Yeah,
been up?
yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, it's been out for like a week.
so guess what, folks? This movie is
Already at 1.4 billion.
yes, he beat me to it.
Oh, sorry.
1.4 no, that's all good. 1.4 billion dollar already. Within 6 days, it eclipsed the $1 billion mark. I think it's the fastest growing movie. Is that ever? Or just this year?
I think Avengers Endgame was probably faster.
Yeah,
But you gotta admit that's a combination of everybody though. So of course that more people gonna see that because there's a whole bunch of different heroes. But I do think it's probably the best performing Spider-Man movie in a sense of like box office and its growth.
Yeah.
But I think Endgame initially had way more when it
Okay.
dropped.
I mean, but it's not bad to be second place. I mean,
Absolutely not.
1.4
It wasn't. Yeah.
billion.
It
That's
wasn't even a far off second. It wasn't even far off. It was just a couple hundred
this.
million was missing.
Hey, Endgame been out since what 2019, so that's 7 years. I think within 7 years, this movie might be at $3 billion. After 7 years,
Yeah.
it might be at two before this year is out. It might be in two next week. Like this movie is going crazy in the
Yeah.
box office. And
It could
so,
hit two probably within like 2 3 weeks. Yeah.
hey, this thing is breaking records. I had a little discussion earlier about how Andrew Garfield might be in number three Spider-Man. I mean, of course, people will still say, Toby's, their best Spider-Man, but it looks like Tom Holland is edging out Andrew Garfield as far as being, the number two Spider-Man in live action.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's this movie they really try to go in a different direction with Spider-Man and how his character is kind of reacting and doing the whole lonesome thing by being by himself in a sense. And
Mhm.
what I mean by himself, I mean like in a sense of carrying the film kind of by himself compared to the other films that he was in prior to three, the trilogy that he was in before. So they kind of can now match the energy with Toby and Andrew in the sense of that of him being by himself and carrying it by himself.
Okay. Jay, you just hit your alt or
yeah, yeah. Yeah. I was really happy to see the improvement in Tom's character though. Cause I was one of his biggest haters. Uh,
really?
yeah, in the first trilogy, I did not like the Spider Boy, Iron Boy, way that they were going. Uh, I didn't mind Tony being a mentor, but it seemed like they was leaning a bit too much on Tony as a crutch. For like the whole trilogy, it kind of felt like I ain't like that.
Okay.
So I was when I seen Brand New Day, it was refreshing to see him uh more on his own. He was actually doing stuff by himself. He was living on his own. No Aunt May, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Uh, he actually was building tech on his own. Um, Kind of felt like it was more of his own character than his son.
And I gotta say though, I'm not a fan of his movies. I think he's a good Spider-Man. You know what I mean? Like there's a
Yeah,
difference. You know what I'm saying, but I seen Homecoming once. I remember I looked at my dad and my sister. We was like, this wasn't it. Far From Home, I think I saw by myself. I was like, this wasn't it. No Way Home, I thought the first half was weak. I love the second half of the movie, but a half a movie doesn't make for a great movie. You know what I'm saying? So I always call that a tale of two movies. Spider-Man: Brand New Day, Tom Holland. This is to me his best performance as the Spider-Man character. I feel like his acting was on point. I feel like he did sort of embody the character a little more in this movie. We do see that he's kind of lonely at the beginning. You know, he's like dwelling at the top of these like skyscrapers and stuff. He's like, I think, did he fall asleep at the top of? I don't know, but I thought at one point he was like asleep, like like hundreds of feet up in the air. So while he's like, defeating Tarantula, they showed a little montages of the old comic book covers. He's defeating Boomerang. He defeated Scorpion and Tombstone, which we might talk about later, which I have an issue with, but we'll talk about that later. He's getting the key to the city, but at the same time, like almost, I don't know if it's the very next frame, he's like sitting like in a hoodie in his drawers and he's washing his suit. So you see like the loneliness that comes with being that hero in New York City. I thought that was just very well done.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think the introduction was very well done, like you said, with the montage of because since it's a 4 year gap,
Mm,
um, so that means the Ned and MJ thing. They put in the sense of the 4 years so you can understand like they're about to leave college, and
mm,
Spider Man's kind of been busy that whole time. So the montage was some nice. I agree with you, John, back when you said like he embodied the character more. They
mm.
gave him more scenes with him connecting with the city and growing with the city, which matters later on in our discussion by like the end of the movie, right?
Right.
So they try to show that in the forefront of like him building connection with certain people and not developing, and just him, doing little Spider-Man things. Like at the beginning, he was just on his phone upside down when the movie started.
Yeah.
So him just doing those little Spider-Man activities, like hanging upside down on a regular beam, hanging on the construction building,
Yeah.
yeah, and then just like falling off the building, just swinging or whatever. Those little things, I'm glad that he added into because it also adds life. It's very subtle, but it adds life to what like Spider-Man does on a regular basis. On him chilling every time before a new call comes in or a new alert before he has to go out and do what he needs to do.
And you know what's funny though? Like I know what you mean by he was chilling, but he is not relaxed in the beginning. Yeah, I mean like he's
Yeah,
really
yeah.
like
Like his mind is running.
right. It's like
Yeah.
it's not sulking, but he's almost brooding. You know what I mean? But he
Mm-hmm.
just happens to be just like laid out or just like sitting upside down. But he's really brooding over the loss of Ned and MJ. And this is kind of like where I began to have issues with the movie. I'm like, okay, so we see how much of an outgoing hero he is. He's called your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. He doesn't talk in a menacing like Ben Affleck Batman tone. Do you bleed? No, that's not Spider-Man. Spider-Man is not going to intimidate you. He will try to talk you down if he can. You know what I mean? Like before engaging with you, he's like guys, you sure you want to do this? That's the kind of person he is. He has like a friendly tone of voice. So the fact that he went 4 years lurking on MJ and Ned's like live streams, I was like, you didn't meet anyone else at college? I mean, like again, this goes back to comic book knowledge. Maybe it's comic book bias too, but as much as Peter broke up with Mary Jane, excuse me, Mary Jane Watson in the comic books, on again, off again dating, he always had acquaintances as Peter Parker. So from the
Yeah.
beginning, I'm like, why are they making him a stalker of these two when, according to the last movie, he asked Doctor Strange to, enact that multi-dimensional, multi-universal spell to protect Ned and MJ. That's where my first issue began with the movie. Anybody can
Oh,
MJ,
chime.
you got anything on that?
well, well, I took it as well, they obviously wanted to like show him like try to cope with the loss of his friends. And
Were they really lost though? Like,
it's kind of one sided because Ned and MJ don't even know that like the spill happened, of course, right?
right.
But it, like with the way they framed it, they made it seem like he had like so strong of an attachment to them that he couldn't like him making other friends. It wouldn't be the same bond, of course. So I just took it as face value. Yeah, because I if they tried to like introduce like a Gwen or like a Harry into this, then it would have been uh would have had to like almost essentially have like another backstory for them.
I think they would have overshadowed Ned and MJ, introducing
Yeah,
like a
yeah,
core character. Whatever. Now they do introduce a core character. They made her Hispanic in this movie, but Captain Jean DeWolf,
yeah.
she was the cop. She's like
Uh-huh.
a longtime Spider-Man ally. She dies though, but I actually feel like she's might have been like one of the most essential characters in this movie, like as far as her relationship with
Yeah,
Spider-Man. And go ahead, speak. What you gonna say?
yeah. I'm just agreeing with you. And to talk about a little our topic a little bit before that. He like they kind of try to show him like other people trying to at least talk to him, like the girl inside the elevator.
Everybody
She was
thought
like,
was Gwen
"Oh,
Stacy.
yeah."
Right. I was a
Everyone,
blonde Gwen.
right, the people throwing that. He was like, "Oh, we live in the same building." He like, "Yeah," and then just walked off. So it's like he's cutting off everybody and every opportunity to really connect to him in that way. And you can kind of say it's from like I guess the scarring or whatever it is because of the major events that happened prior. You know what I mean? Of him wanting to kind of separate himself from people. You know what I mean? And him like and him just kind of as you see like him going through the Instagrams and stuff of MJ and Ed. You know what I mean? Because he really does. He loves them, and he didn't really want to do what he had to do, but he felt like it was the best thing to do at that time to make them forget who he was to try to do the protection thing like Spider-Man does, like how Andrew needed to separate himself because what the father said. So he kind of made Emma Stone's Gwen break up with him. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But he still was, he still loves her. He wanted to be with her. It was just the conflicts that he had. That's why he was just stalking her on rooftop. So it's kind of like in the sense of the same dynamic. You know
Stalking
what
her
I
off. That's crazy work.
mean? Yeah. Because he'll sit there, then there'll be a fire, then he'll go, fly off and handle that or swing off to handle that. But in the sense of like, they're all kind of going through that, trying, they all try to go through that. You know what I mean? As Spider Man, and he just trying to deal with it. I guess in the sense of like him doing that major wish thing, and just trying to go off from there because that was a major effect on like everybody forgetting him, and so he just I guess trying to sulk in that reality that he made.
Yeah, I mean, like Spider Man, he's been very moody. You know what I'm saying? Like in the comic books and the cartoon. It's just 4 years is a long time. Like to never want to make another friend, like that's a long time. And the
Yeah.
funny thing is, though, like Peter Parker wasn't making any acquaintances, but Spider Man was, as I referred to the captain. You know, this is the first time we've seen like Tom Holland's Spider Man actually work with law enforcement to
Yeah.
that
Mm-hmm.
to that degree. Like he's
Which
like,
was a nice addition.
right. So it's like your two children or whatever. Pop, I forgot their names or whatever, because he didn't remember them at first either. And of course, people are saying, well, maybe the other son was Miles Morales. Like, chill.
Nah, nah.
You know what the theory
People
was?
wanted those Easter eggs bad in this
Right? They
movie.
want Gwen bad. They want and so I
But
don't
also
know.
like the MJ, but not MJ. Sorry, is but also if like because what I try to do in a lot of these movies, I try to put myself in their shoes as much as possible. So I guess
Uh-huh.
that's why I kind of feel bad for a lot of these movies and the character. I'd be like, dang, he going through it, right? Like, I mean, I'd be struggling in some of these movies, especially if I care about the movies.
Yeah.
Um, so like with Tom Holland's trilogy, in the sense of like the story itself, and you not like liking the individual movie, which is very understandable. A lot of people didn't like Far From Home, I mean the glasses and all that stuff. Like, and then I get those points. That's why I try to look at also the characters themselves and what they're trying to go through in their eyes.
Yeah.
And the absence of a father figure from the Uncle Ben perspective, even though we didn't get too much of it from Tom's Spider Man, you know what I mean?
Right. Right. His Uncle Ben
Yeah.
moment was on May. So
Yeah. So him having that void instance of a father figure being absent and kind of Tony start filling that spot, which a lot of people wasn't really part of a fan of. If you understand from his point of view of Tony being a father figure, you kind of understand the attachments and all that stuff of the first three movies and
mhm.
why he feeling some type of way. And also to brand new day now, due to the consequence of everybody knowing who Peter Parker is, which also led to Aunt May's death, he really tries to push out people trying to really get connected to him. Even though he wants to build some connections, but since like major deaths like that happened for him though, because people came to his universe because of the name Peter Parker, he
Right.
really tries to separate himself from it. That's why he used like throughout the movie different names. You know what I mean? In the sense of like
Even
when he
used the
met new
name
people.
Ned Leeds too,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah,
Easter egg in and of itself. Because this is all collateral from Far From Home. Now I know it's directly from No Way Home, but this stems back to Mysterio sort of letting the cat out the bag that Peter Parker is Spider Man. Then we saw our first glimpse of J. Jonah Jameson. So it is sort of like a running narrative throughout his trilogy that he was discovered to be Peter Parker. Like he didn't do that willingly. But I remember when I was watching Far From Home, I know he's supposed to be something about Spider-Man Brand New Day, but it'll all tie into it. I was like, why is he unmasking in front of all these people in front of Nick Fury?
Yeah,
Because
I was hating that too. Oh my
yeah,
god.
because I was like, all you know is Nick Fury. Like, did he know that Nick Fury know that he was Spider-Man before that?
they talked in Homecoming, did they not? No, yeah, they did because
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
think they
Cause,
talked
cause,
in
of-
Homecoming.
cause of Happy. That was
Yeah,
like
yeah,
the
happy.
Okay, because I was like, all right, maybe Nick Fury knew or whatever. Nick Fury is just one of those government people. You know what I'm saying? Like
He knows everybody. He
exactly.
knows everything.
Even in Wolverine and X Men, he like ran off the names of the X Men and Wolverine just to get him help him with the Hulk or something. But anyway, so okay, I can buy Nick Fury knowing that. But I'm like, why are you unmasking in front of all these other people that are sitting at these consoles? I'm like, you don't know them. And so that's where, like, I don't agree with this. But I know one person said that Tom Holland is the dumbest Spider-Man, which I don't agree with. But you have to understand, like, the whole your creed is with great power comes great responsibility. So you can't really afford to be naive. You can't really afford to be gullible as Spider-Man. You can afford that as Peter Parker, but you can't afford that as Spider-Man. So when he makes the same mistake in Brand New Day, where he gives sensitive, like powerful equipment to Bill Mesker, who we'll get into later, like he did with Mysterio, because he thought that Mysterio was working with Shield, that's a repeat of a blunder that he apparently didn't learn from. So I do take exception to him doing that.
Yeah. And one thing I like to point out in this movie, what I think is incredible, is they took that to heart, John Bet, what y'all mentioned, and you too, Jay, on what y'all mentioned about him taking off that mask a million times. They took that to heart here because he was in that suit 24/7 in this
yeah.
film. He was in
I,
that suit. He was in that suit
I
forever.
appreciate that.
I was
I,
like, he's still in this suit. Because
bro,
there
I
was some
was,
points in the movie, I'm like, he's still wearing that joint.
bro, I
It
was
was
like,
funny.
finally a superhero that don't take his mask off. Jeez, bro, it's like all of the MCU films do that.
But at the same
Everybody got to take it off to like, I just need a breather to talk
but at
something.
the
It's like
same time,
I don't understand
he
that.
told Bruce Wayne. I mean, is it Bruce Wayne? Jesus. He told, at the same time, he told Bruce Wayne. Oh my God, I said it again. He told Bruce Banner that
Yeah,
he was Spider Man. Because like, we'll get into that later. But anyway, I really believe that Tom Holland really did embody the character. I'm just like, you can't make friends after 4 years. Spider Man can make acquaintances, but Peter Parker can't. Like, come on. And there is the bias there because I'm not a fan of Ned and MJ. Even though Zendaya, this was her best acting to me. I feel like she really acted the part, no, not remembering that he was Peter Parker because of the spell. And so I'm like, that's another issue that I have. It doesn't lower my grade for the movie, but I'm like, Peter, why are you trying to undo the spell from No Way Home? Like
yeah.
he's
I,
actively trying to undo it.
I just think his writing is whack. Like if he had the writers that worked on with like Toby, I think his actual character would be better if he had better writing. But like him as Spider-Man was better this time around though. But
Yeah.
like the actual writing of the film, like every character could be better. Like their motives or their what's another word I'm looking for? Um
Motivation.
no no um oh yeah, I'll just go with that. Their 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 motives for like what's going on could be written better. It would make it a better story.
Okay.
Um,
Speed.
Yeah, I know a lot of people usually have issues in the sense of like other characters of MJ and Ned because they're not some of the most popular that we had so far in the sense of the Spider-Man movies and stuff like that. People prefer, I think, Gwen Stacy. I think Gwen Stacy is probably one of the most popular in the live actions that we had so far. People really loved her character. You had MJ from the originals, Harry Osborn from the originals. I think kind of MJ and Ned from Tom's is probably like people's usually lower end in the sense of like people they really enjoy. So kind of having them in is usually people don't like him, right? But in the sense of Tom, or at least Peter Parker, you know what I mean, trying to undo the thing. I think kind of a subconscious thing, right? Like he wants to stay away from them, but also at the same time he wants to protect them, kind of thing. Like he really wants to tell them, but he can't. It's kind of like similar to the Flash, not telling Iris West that he's the Flash,
Right.
but he wants to be there 24/7 and do all things, especially in the TV show where he was he was there 24/7 doing everything, but he couldn't take that leap on doing it to where he really held off every single extent. What really kind of broken was, you know, what I mean, that not the rooftop, kind of rooftop when she kind of fell off and everything, that kind of whole scene that set up.
I
In
don't
Brand
know.
New Day.
Oh, brand new day. Okay, I thought you were about
Yeah,
the
yeah,
first.
yeah. When she like we had that area, near the giant silver sign, right? Which was also I think an Easter egg as well. Um, but that whole situation, that kind of really broke him because he thought MJ remembered him when obviously it was a whole trick
Oh yeah,
by,
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
what I mean, the main antagonist.
yeah.
You know, what I mean, because he really just wanted to protect and not reveal that side of himself. Otherwise, he kind of would have been done that. And some people
Mm,
could say like he kept the letter and stuff like that, which I understand. You know what I mean? Because he was still harping on the letter.
yeah.
But he really didn't want to go and tell them. It just I think kind of a subconscious thing that he really still wants to, but he just wants to still stay inside the loop anyways.
I
So
mean, okay. I'll just again. This is more comic book bias coming up. Okay, they didn't want to go to Gwen Stacy route. Fine. They didn't go to Harry Osborn route. Fine. They didn't go Liz Allen. Well, no, they did do Liz Allen in Homecoming, but there's a whole bunch of people. They had an Indian Flash, Flash Thompson, which was there. So okay, you name Zendaya MJ. As soon as at the end of Homecoming, when she said MJ, everybody was like, "For real, for real, this is what we doing." And then Ned Lee. Okay, Ned Lee is basically an Asian derivative of Ned Leeds, of who Peter name drops to Bruce Banner in this movie. Now, Ned Leeds worked in the comic books. All right, so follow me. Ned Leeds worked as a reporter for the Daily Bugle, and he was in love with Betty Brant. I don't know if y'all familiar with the name Betty Brant or not.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, so I was like, okay, so I appreciate you taking two characters, but it's like they're close enough to the original yet far enough away so that you still have this sort of touchstone to the original source material. Does that make sense what I'm saying?
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So
It's because
so it's not
the
two
writers
new
tried to explain.
characters. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's not two totally new characters. So it's like, oh, Peter Parker knows an MJ, and it's oh Ned Lee instead of Ned Lee. At that point,
Yeah.
just make up two new people because that's how I thought Zendaya was. I mean, really,
Yeah.
that's what I thought Zendaya was. I was like, okay, I dig this emo chick. I was like, because she's a different speed for Peter Parker and his friends in Homecoming. She's like, you guys are
Mhm.
losers. Like I was digging her character. Then at the end, she's like, yeah, they call me MJ. I was like, oh God, they went
Yeah,
there.
her MJ is really, really, really different than what the standard usually is for MJ. It really
Right.
is.
So I'm like, at this point, like I wasn't mad about them race swapping Liz Allen. Like Liz Allen isn't a big deal. Well, she does become a big deal later on in the comics. But I'm like, come on. Like she has a totally different personality from Mary Jane Watson, this Michelle Jones. So that's where a lot of my bias comes from. And I just felt like they just made Peter so dumb in the first movie. So it's
Yeah.
like, so he sneaks back into his own bedroom where Ned Lee was building a Lego Death Star. He drops the Death Star and doesn't know he's in there. I'm like, where's your spider sense? I just have so many issues with Ned and MJ. And his most iconic moment is dropping the Death Star. That's Ned's most. I don't care what anybody says about the sling rings. His most iconic moment is dropping the freaking Death Star, and they reiterate it in this movie. So again, I'm not a fan of their characters, but I feel like Jacob Batalon and Zendaya really did a good acting job in this movie. So and Tom Holland, I feel like the three core characters were really on point with their acting and personifying their characters.
Yeah, I agree. I think they all really gave a strong performance. Even Tom
Yes.
himself, like the way Tom like embodied the weight of wanting to tell them, but he holding it back on not doing that. You know, the forgetfulness, like you said, of Zendaya acting like she don't know that Spider Man and stuff like that was really well done, and
Mhm.
all the characters have really done a great job. That's a highlight, definitely in this film.
Okay. All right. So we kind of talked about things that we all kind of agree on: Ned, MJ, and Tom Holland. This being easily their all three of their best performances, in my opinion. Uh, Ned Lee is like he's some kind of nerd. You know, what I mean, they said he's like in Boston. He has like these spider tracker apps or whatever, which I'm not mad at because he almost embodied Ned Leeds. As I said, he was an investigative journalist for the Daily Bugle, so he's kind of going into that route of kind of being a whiz kid. And I would have preferred it if Spider Man was just like working with Ned to like fight crime. I wouldn't have had a problem with that. You know what I mean? All of a sudden, MJ is like a biochemical expert and she's like she's helping him with like Spider-Man does like his gene research for the inhibitor. So it's almost like MJ is whatever the plot kind of needs or whatever, other than being his love interest or whatever.
Yeah, because we were kind of used to her being like, you know, what I mean, the eye candy and the supermodel type of, you know, what I mean, person that kind of helps and supports Peter Parker. We're used to that traditional role, right? So
Mm-hmm.
them kind of making her into like the kind of the scientist aspect of being a biochemist or whatever. It was kind of different. I didn't mind it. I thought it was actually like really cool because that kind of like he like not saying he wasn't already attracted to her, but he probably even grow more of attraction because like of her knowing these type of things and they able to bond and connect and talk about those things. Probably even build that connection even more on his end because obviously he knows her already. She ain't
Right.
really know him yet, you
Like
know.
how you know that? No, I'm playing. Jay, what you think about Ned, Tom, and Zendaya?
Yeah, I didn't mind their involvement in this film. I know a lot of people like one of their major criticisms was just, oh, he's going back to his friend group, but I'm like
I,
they
I
was
have an
barely
issue
in
with
the movie. Yeah,
I do have an issue with that though. I mean, because
like
he's basically
geez.
trying to, and of course, I was talking to somebody about it, and of course, they made it personal or whatever. I'm saying from the three Tom Holland Spider-Man movies, I know he loves Zendaya, but I don't feel their romance the way I feel Emma Stone and Andrew Garfield's, or even Kirsten Dunst and Tobey Maguire's. Now, that's just my opinion. I don't feel that as strong of a connection between him and Zendaya's character as the other two previous Spider-Man. Now, that's not a knock on this film. I was not watching this movie going, I wonder if Toby will be better or Andrew. No, no, no. I watched this for this. But I just don't feel their love connection as much as I feel the two previous Spider-Man's love connections.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think a lot of people will disagree that Andrew and Emma's relationship was just really on a 10. Like you felt it from his two films. I
Mm-hmm.
think that's why I also kind of made more of a hurt piece when spoiler alert for Amazing Spider-Man 2 when she when she gets out of here. You feel
Right.
me? And that's like a very detrimental moment for that we seen for like a live action Spider-Man because we care about that relationship and we felt that relationship. Cause I do agree that like Tom and Zendaya, even though I think they're great, I mean, possibly in like in their real life aspect, it just a lot of people can't really see that in the sense of the Spider-Man films or feel that much from that because they really haven't. I guess it's the script writing that really didn't make you like feel that growth because they
Mm-hmm.
were kind of splitting him up with doing a million things, right? Because he's doing like Avenger level stuff, and
Right.
now they're so focused on that to where they really couldn't really build him with MJ and doing a lot of things. That's why they kind of try to have the things here, like him swinging with her and doing a whole bunch of other things,
Right. And
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 connecting with.
and to your point about Andrew and Emma, it's so strong that in No Way Home, when he saves Zendaya, Andrew Garfield ain't even got to say nothing. You know immediately what that meant. You know what I mean? It was one of those if you know, you know. And you just see him like almost about to break down. She's like, "Oh, thank you," and he just can't even get the words out. So that's how strong I feel the connection between Emma Stone and Andrew Garfield. What do you think about that, Jay?
Yeah, it was a funny trope seeing her falling, and it was like a close up shot of her falling. It was like a fake out almost. It's like, oh my god,
Why was
you
that
doing
funny
this
to
again?
you? Why is that a funny trope? Ah, she's falling to her death. Ah, again.
No, because like it's
Evil
like
New Yorker.
it's like every time a Spider-Man love interest is falling in the movie, now everybody's gonna think tell him to. It's
Only
kind
that
of
New York
horrible.
the humor.
Yeah,
No, I'm playing.
yeah, but he saved her, of course, and then like to the she finally woke up. She's like, oh, how the hell I end up here? And it was like, oh man, Jean.
Since
Yeah,
you said the name, let's
yeah.
go into the third act, which centers on Jean Grey. All right, now, okay, we understand that this is about planting seeds for the X Men. Unless you've been, let me direct talk to the camera. Unless you've been living under a rock, they did not just pluck Jean Grey's name out of obscurity and say, you know what, let's put a telepath. No, this is to lay the groundwork for the introduction of the X Men into the MCU. All right, so there, I'll pat myself on the back for informing you if you didn't know that. Now, knowing that that's the real thrust of why she's in the movie, I hate her involvement in this movie. I do not like this introduction of the X because Speed. That's what this is. That's primarily what this is.
Yeah.
Now, Jordan and I mean Jdagod, excuse me, Jdagod and I are a little more familiar with the X Men than you are by your own admission, Speed. So I'm not putting you on blast. So Jean Grey has never been the leader of the X Men. She has never been like the backbone of the X Men. It would almost be like introducing the Transformers by putting let's say it's a GI Joe movie. You're in a scrapyard and a Transformer transforms, and they're going to do a crossover with the Transformers, and they introduce Cup, K-U-P. You know Cup, the old.
Yeah. Yeah, I do know that Cyclops is traditional leader of the X-Men, right? So them introducing her is like, it's not what I never really wanted X-Men in this movie. I'll be honest.
I didn't either. Nobody wanted the X-Men in this movie.
I did not. It was because first off, I was just hoping, I was praying, because if you don't know, I hate leakers. I hate people that leak films. So like, is one of my major pet peeves of mine. Even TV shows like with Invincible and stuff like that. Like I can't stand it. Right.
I'm gonna put Speed on blast right now.
Hey, Ron. Hey, I can't stand it.
Hey, Speed was talking about seeing somebody with fists because they spoiled something about Invincible. I'm gonna leave it at that.
I hate spoilers.
Speed is all yours. I'm gonna just leave it at that.
Passion. That's why I was kind of hoping it was like a false seed of it not really being Jean Grey. Like John Baptist said, you've been living under a rock. It's been kind of announced for like before the movie dropped for like dang near like 3-4 months that that Jean was gonna be in this film. So I was kind of hoping that it would end up being somebody else when the movie actually came out, but it ended up being Jean Grey anyways. I was never really a big fan of it being Jean in the first place. Like the X-Men, I think are cool. Like I'm that's not one of my major things in MCU that I really, or instead of Marvel, that I'm really like super fond about. I think there's a couple cool people with powers and stuff like that, but they were not really what I was super into. I was more into the Avenger side more than the X-Men side when I was getting brought up into, the Marvels and stuff like that. So, but it being like I agree with you, John, about like when I heard that she was gonna be in this, I was thrown off by that. I didn't really want that either because I feel like you said, it kind of takes the spotlight off of Spider-Man,
Right.
and that plants just extra seeds for them to launch something else. And we got to stop with this whole like using Spider-Man to launch other things. And I get that he's a crossover character though, right? Like I get that, but like this was supposed to be something that was really supposed to be dedicated to him. So you doing other stuff really kind of messes up. But I do appreciate kind of the recovery of the inhibitor, which I'll let you get into. I do like that aspect.
Oh no,
And
you
seeing
can get
how
into
that's
it.
going to develop.
No, you brought it
Okay.
up. So go ahead. Go right into it.
So if you don't know, obviously, if you watch this movie, if you watch this video, you should have watched the movie. Like, he made an inhibitor. Now he made it in universal inhibitor. So if you could piece things together, this will obviously become a major thing that will happen later on in the MCU. But
let me cut it real quick on Speed. Okay, because this does tie into what you're saying. But see, I thought it was going to be like almost a moral crisis as to whether or not he would go through with it because of his conversation with Bruce Banner earlier. Because remember, Bruce Banner was like he's like, how would you know which genes to suppress? I mean, because basically you're tampering with nature when you do that. You know what I mean? So I thought that was going to be a moral dilemma for Spider-Man, but it turned out just to be an excuse to have Bruce Banner on screen. But continue.
Yeah, and yeah, also like it's to help out with that, right? I kind of understand why Peter was so hard on just like I have to stop her. I have to make sure I can stop her powers, whatever, because he seen somebody get ran over by a car right in front of me by her powers, and a whole bunch of effects of like the grandma behind the wheel of the giant tank thing falling over, hitting damage control building. So I kind of see why he was so pressed on not really worry about the morale aspect and more focused on I need to stop this individual because first off they know the person I like, and two they're hurting tons of innocent people, which
Yeah.
which we got to see how Charles Xavier going to worry about that joint later on, right?
You're gonna
But
be crash out to the X Mansion? Like what we talking about?
like that so I see why Peter was more in the sense of not worried about the morale in the sense of I have to stop this individual, kind of like sort of at any cost, right?
Right. But see, Spider-Man
Yeah,
is a morally based character.
yeah, yeah,
So I'm not saying that it's going against his nature, but it kind of is because Spider-Man will take the high ground depending on the situation, the
yeah,
moral
yeah,
high ground.
but yeah, we also know he kind of gets blinded by like also like when people are involved that he likes. Like I think there was some comic issues as well when Kingpin does something to like Aunt May, for example. He goes to Kingpin like just he didn't even wearing a suit. He just go there and just start welling on him and just because Aunt May was involved. So we Spider Man, especially when people that he cares about are involved in danger, he kind of throws it out. You know what I mean? Not like it's in a way of making him human, right? Not making like super god level like how they try to make Superman. You feel me? Like
That's why
that's
to the
why
big
that's
movie.
why that's why Spider-Man is more relatable because we understand like especially like for a superhero when people that you really care about are in danger, you kind of going to be more 10 times heavy on making sure that threat is eliminated,
Yeah.
right? Similar to like Invincible as well. When Debbie's brought up or Adam Eve's brought up, oh you're not living. That's not. you know, you can bring up Immortal. He's fine. You'll just go to jail if Immortal's brought up. But anybody else? Oh yeah, you're done. But
Right.
yeah, I think yeah, it's I see why he does it.
Jay.
Um, are we still talking about the chip that he meant?
Yeah, the whole Jean
Yeah,
Grey and everything that
Yeah.
affects.
Yeah. I didn't. All right. I was buying into the story or trying to, so I didn't mind him giving up the chip because I already knew that that's gonna uh uh more or less lead into like them collars being made that like could stop the powers temporarily.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, them. Mm, see, like it's a tricky spot because 'cause, like it's the MCU, so of course Spider Man is gonna interact with other characters.
Right.
But I too would like a traditional villain, but I didn't mind the Gene involvement. Uh, I probably would
But
have chose a different X Men, like
right. Exactly.
like if Sony or Marvel made a mandate like we need a X Men in this to like cross promote. I would have personally chose a different X Men.
Right. I'd have
Uh,
gone with Cyclops or Storm. Either one of those two.
yeah, or shoot, I would have did like a Wolverine team up, but that's probably too soon because you got the Wolverine and Deadpool. They probably didn't want to jam Wolverine down our throat, which I don't mind either. Kind of getting tired of that. But yeah, I would have chose a different X Men, me personally, if it was a mandate. But to my knowledge, Daniel Creston, the director, he chose Jean. Like he wanted X Men in this film. So
Well,
I don't know if he had like a different director. If he would have chose a traditional Spider-Man villain, if that's what we would have gotten.
see, the reason why I don't buy that there was the director that chose him. What's the chick's name from Sony? Anna Pascal or something.
Um. Yeah. I did. I don't think Avi Arad is still
Yeah,
doing any.
I don't know
Yeah.
where he is. But Kevin Feige and Anna Pascal put out like this like I guess, a statement, whatever, saying that it was Daniel's idea to introduce him. But Sony don't have the rights to the X-Men. All
Yeah,
Sony has,
yeah,
so for this director to say, okay, I want this unlicensed property to be in our movie, you can't say that. You're only the director of the movie. Only executives can green light stuff like that.
yeah,
So he said that he wanted the villain to be a teenager. Excuse me, my voice cracked. He wanted the villain to be like a like a teenager that's experiencing like like the depression and like the isolation. He didn't come out and say I want Jean Grey. He just gave the
yeah,
parameters of the type of like foil for Spider-Man in this movie without there being a traditional Spider-Man villain.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. It's he
Yeah,
chose
but
Jean Grey out of all of them, bro.
yeah, yeah. That's that's the thing. But
All
yeah,
of them.
if we going with his word, he chose that. So I like me buying into the story. Yeah, I understand why Spider-Man would give up a chip like that if they wanted to, because I feel like they're gonna Tony Stark him in a way. Like he's gonna like his tech from now on is gonna be like used throughout. Like it won't see like Peter Industries or something like that. But
Even
like
though there is something
you'll
called Stark
yeah
Industries.
yeah
There is.
yeah I know. Yeah, everything that goes on from now on is probably going to be like something indirectly from Spider-Man now, since there's no RDJ um around for right now at least.
And see, that's where like the mandated interconnectivity between properties can be like problematic.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
what, I still don't get the logic of that. You're going to introduce possibly the group that's going to carry the MCU into the future, the X Men, all right, because they've always been way more popular than the Avengers, except
hmm
for the era of the MCU, all right.
yeah,
So the
yeah,
X Men was
Hmm.
always the biggest
Yeah.
group, or whatever. So I'm like, why would you introduce them in a Sony property? Like the MCU can't make Spider-Man movies. Only Sony can do that. But Disney can work with Sony. I didn't get that. I didn't get that at all. But this is me being a comic book story fan. Obviously, I guess they thought this was going to make money. Like X Men don't need Spidey. Spidey don't need X Men.
Nah, the title Spider Man alone. The Jean Grey could have been replaced with a different villain, and I think it would still made the same amount of money, if not like ill or like super close. Because the name Spider Man alone and the trailers and stuff, because the trailers and stuff don't even highlight real like Jean Grey. It doesn't get
No,
that
I don't
type
know.
vibe in the trailers. So from that, I think they still would have still made the same amount of money, even though somebody else is in the forefront of being the villain, like Scorpion or whatever, or whoever they wanted to choose for villain, not being X Men. It still would have performed very well because the name Spider Man alone is a household name. Like he's one of the most popular superheroes ever.
Top
Like
three, easily top three.
yeah,
Batman, Superman, Spider Man. So this like begs the question. Is like, so for the future of Tom Holland's trilogy, this is another trilogy we're embarking on. All right.
hmm
mhm.
So who can you possibly introduce as an antagonist? Because we've seen all of his traditional antagonists. Craven the Hunter had his own garbage movie. Rhino was also in that garbage movie. I'm sorry, being a little harsh. We've seen the Green Goblin. We've seen Doctor Octopus. We've seen Scorpion. We've seen Lizard. We've seen Vulture. So where does Spider-Man go from here as far as antagonists?
Well,
there's
yeah, it's still a few that we haven't seen, but I don't know if corporate greed would allow us to see them.
Okay,
Uh,
so fan cast, Jordan. What villain could we put into the rest of his trilogy?
Oh well, oh man, if you asked me to like redo Brand New Day, I would. I think this story fits
No,
perfectly
no, no,
with
no,
it.
no, 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 no. Don't redo the movie because
All
we're
right,
gonna get into why
yeah,
this movie could
yeah,
be better, in my opinion. I know
yeah,
you guys love it.
yeah, yeah.
The
But
movie
I would have loved to see Craven with this. I think doing Craven with like a man spider would have fit perfect. Like he would have been hunting Spider Man, and
wait,
then
you said man spider? So you wanted to see Tom Holland with like 8 arms or six
no, no,
arms or whatever?
no, no. I'm saying like if we had a Craven in the story, it would have fit with the whole him story or subplot of him like evolving. It would have fit with that, with like a him being hunted by the Craven. But for like future movies, you could do Mr. Negative. I think his popularity has risen because of the
The video
Spider-Man.
games.
Yeah, Spider-Man PS4.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um, another one, another solo. I'm assuming after Secret Wars. Spoiler. For anybody watching, for Secret Wars, there probably will be a black suit Spider-Man in that, since
Yeah.
that was the symbiote's first appearance.
Hmm.
So going forward, we might see a proper Venom. Uh,
I don't know. After them that Venom trilogy, I mean, I
yeah,
don't know who really come back to
well,
this in the MCU.
yeah. I know that's why I prefaced it with a proper one, one with a spider on his chest, because there's actual Spider-Man in this universe. Jeez.
All right. So
Uh,
speed. If you, my bad, Jordan. You got more.
um, yeah, only those three for right now that you can really do. I don't think they're gonna touch a Morbius.
They already put out a movie
Either.
on Morbius.
Yeah. So it's kind of getting thin on villains if you're trying to be unique.
All right, speed. So if you had the fan
Sony.
cast, some
Sony, man. They
Marvel
they
movie.
they they man.
Venom.
And they ruined the opportunity for Spider-Man to grow because they're like, let's make villain-based movies. I know like three of them have failed, but let's work on our fourth one. Fourth down the charm is never the charm, right?
Mhm.
Like, um, I do think it's a tough spot, right? But I do think we're in a situation kind of where you kind of have to reuse certain characters. Like it sucks though, right? But you can. It's a different universe type of thing. But if you reuse a villain, because I'm trying to think right in any way, like how also like the movies right now, and also how the audience will perceive it,
Okay.
right? Because let's say he fights the Sandman, Tom Holland fights the Sandman, it will
Mhm.
automatically get compared to the original Sandman, right?
Yes, I forgot about
Um,
Sandman too.
yeah, and I think that would be an interesting option. Craven, I think, is a great choice, Jay, especially for this film.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
he
It's
was
kind of
saying,
kind
"I
of
hunt
wasted
the
opportunity.
beast." He
Yeah,
he would have loved. He would have had a field day
yeah. That's a
with this
wasted
Spider-Man.
opportunity, man.
Hey, yo,
Yeah,
Great.
Craven could have been the one narrating his metamorphosis.
Yeah,
yeah, that would have been smart. Yeah, but this also I think, man, I want to say Rhino, but I don't think Rhino can hold a film by himself.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
mm-mm.
He can't hold one by himself. I think Mr. Negative would also be a really good take.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, it's the issue is since they kind of made some of these movies in the same. Like I also love Venom, right? Because he also had the Venom in his universe due to the symbiote thing happening from No Way Home and da da da, right? But also, it just kind of tough because Sony kind of put themselves in a hole in the sense of like using villains again, or at least Spider-Man specific villains because they kind of used them already and they were
Your own
trash.
movies. Yeah.
Yeah, and they were bad. It's not like they were good. Let's say like the Craven movie did incredible, right? Then they could have worked off that somehow. You know what I mean? I guess try to plug them into this universe or something like that, and then they'll hype up the movie even more, right? But since they did terrible, it's kind of hard for him to use the roster. So that's why, unfortunately, I will think he will have to reuse the villains. There's a given, you know what I mean? Unless they try to make popular the villains he fought in the montage, like Arachnid, or no,
Taran-
Tarantula, my bad, Tarantula,
Boom.
and the
Yeah.
yeah, like unless they try to build them up. Tombstone wasn't really received well, for what I understand. Um, but I think that could be an interesting like detective like Spider-Man movie or whatever, if that's ever a direction.
Yeah, Tombstone is more like organized crime. He's like Mr. Negative. I'm
Yeah,
talking about
yeah.
in terms of like he's not an animal themed Spider-Man.
Yeah. So, but that's the type of movie where you're gonna have to need like kind of a detective Spider-Man type of thing. I don't know if people would really be fond of that, you know.
Yeah.
But there's tons of people they can use. But like, unfortunately, either you have to reuse the ones that were in the terrible Sony movies, right, or you reuse ones that was already used in the previous Spider-Man films, or use lower grade ones that people don't really know about, like Tarantula. You feel me? And hopefully the audience grabs onto them and be like, if they're written well, they'll be like, oh, this is a cool new character. Like Mr. Negative. People really didn't know Mr. Negative until the Spider-Man game came out. Then people were like, oh, this dude tight. He got the powers and all that. Then they kind of wanted him in this film because a lot of people was hoping Mr. Negative would be the villain of this film when the movie was first getting developed and stuff when they were trying to, grow it. So it's rough, man. Sony trash. Sony's terrible. They're garbage. I'm sorry. It's
Well, I still believe that they probably have enough to make like a Sinister Six movie. So to both of y'all points, they would have to reuse certain villains, you know what I mean, to make the Sinister Six. But I think that they can go dark. Like, okay, we got Brand New Day. I think that they can put Moreland into a Tom Holland Spider Man. Now, if y'all not familiar with Moreland, the audience, because I'm sure they know since they're Spider Man fans, the the comic book version, I'm laughing at him mashing the button still. The comic the comic book iteration of Spider Verse deals with an interdimensional Spider Man like character called Moreland, who was like killing Spider Man across the multiverse.
Mm,
So if you introduce Moreland, you've already introduced multiversal incursions. We got it in Loki, the finale of season one. We got it in WandaVision. We got it in Spider-Man No Way Home. We got it in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. So we have all these fractures in the multiverse itself. So I feel like that you could introduce Moreland and introduce him to the audience because the audience probably don't even know who Moreland is. So this is where you make a more character based or character driven type movie. So maybe he kills a Ben Riley. I think most people probably know Ben Riley is the clone of Peter Parker. This way,
yeah.
you introduce a Miles Morales into the Peter Parker universe. He might even be able to kill Andrew's Spider-Man or Toby's. But I think that they could go the Moreland route or the Sinister Six route for a future movie.
Yeah, yeah, I think that would
Uh,
be a good thing too.
I
Oh,
don't
sorry,
think
go ahead.
I don't think they would do the Sinister Six route because of no was it because of the third movie.
Oh, No Way
No
Home.
way.
Yeah, yeah. Because that was essentially like Sinister Six versus the three Spider-Man. I don't think
But this
I
is
don't think
Sony.
they would do that.
This is Sony was about. No, I'm playing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Anything on the table with them, but I don't think they would do that.
All right. So I'm gonna bring up one of the subplots of the movie. Tom Holland's Peter Parker's metamorphosis. Ultimately, what did it mean for the overall scheme
It
of the movie?
it
Uh,
was
it,
kind of. Oh, sorry, go ahead, Jay.
it was almost like it was almost like him becoming a man, essentially. That's what it's supposed to represent.
I think it was
Um,
more in the sense of. Oh yeah, go ahead.
yeah, I was just almost like him going through puberty again. Essentially, it was like a new beginning.
Mm. I think I think it was kind of similar to how Toby was. I think it was just kind of another reference to like kind of how Toby was acting in his movie.
Like the second one,
Raindrops falling on my head. You know what I mean?
Spider-Man.
Like,
Yeah,
yeah, you know, like does that like is
he
that
like walked and
dynamic
just
of
tripped
him?
over nothing on the side.
Right. It was that dynamic, right, of him trying to piece together or separate Spider-Man and Peter, which would bring Jay's favorite moment in the movie. Jay, can you tell me about it, bro? Like that's your favorite movie? He said, "I'm both." Jay said he
Yeah,
looked crazy there. He looked crazy during that scene.
no, I really felt that, bro.
So I think it was that.
It was some more words that I don't want to use on this platform, but yeah,
I
that's
think it was that.
I was just excited when you said that. It was like, yes, finally, Spider Man. Thank you.
Let's
Jeez.
see. All right, so not to be the downer of the group, but it's like okay, so I really believe that he was only reintroduced through that metamorphosis, almost to tie back to the previous Spider-Man movies. Like I think that's a direct correlation to like you said, Speed, to Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. It's almost like okay, so we messed up with. I'm not saying they said this, but it's like okay, we messed up with the first three movies. He didn't really have his spider sense on par. His powers were kind of iffy, but it's like now we could kind of give him a rebirth after the first trilogy. That's how I look at the metamorphosis. Now
Yeah.
I do appreciate the hypersensitivity. You know, what I mean, like when he first came out the cocoon or whatever, and you know, like the raindrops. Anyway, the raindrops
Yeah.
was like like loud, earth shattering explosions. But I'm like, but at the end of the movie, I mean, it's a great scene when he's fighting the hand. But it's like the metamorphosis only meant something in that fight. It's like he didn't use it any other time in the movie. Like it didn't mean anything with the Jean Grey save. He did it to pull a sword apart. I'm like, wait a minute. So you needed the metamorphosis to take out 6 members of the hand. Like Daredevil has been bodying the hand for like 3 seasons on Netflix, and I'm talking about a whole army of the hand, and you need it for 6 characters. You needed a power boost for 6 hands.
They they could
Because
have made it different. And but they could have. Okay, so one thing they could have done to make it more effective about the like arachnid or whatever and his mutation or whatever, he could have been fighting Hulk and his breaks. Like let's say he gets slammed into a wall, so bam, right? Gets up, he sees the falls, like he says, "Oh no," and whatever, right? And then like his blood level spikes or whatever, and then you see in his mask the arachnid size rising, right? And then he like his eyes go black or whatever. And this is by the way when Hulk is going berserker mode himself, right?
yeah,
So then you can have both of them just going crazy against each other,
now
right?
Spider Man will never be as strong
Yeah.
as the Hulk, but I
Yeah,
understand
no, no,
that.
no. But it would have been an interesting aspect. Cause then, like,
Yeah,
you'll see him even more locked in on him using more of his spider abilities and just going crazy, like how he went on Scorpion. I think that would have been, even though I love the like Hulk fight. I think the Hulk fight was fun. It was a great watch, but that would have made the stakes even higher because of that aspect of him. They're both going berserker mode. You know what I mean?
right.
And him
Because
had to snap out.
I feel like Spider Man had personal stakes, but as far as him being a hero, I didn't feel any stakes with Spider Man. I feel like the only stakes were revolving around that character that we all wish was not in this movie, Jean Grey. It's like
See,
there are no stakes for Spider Man. It's like
see,
he's like called. Good.
nah, this is why I would have used a different X Men, bro. I think if you was to use an X Men, you probably should have used Wolverine because he has that feral state, which is like he completely goes berserk and like loses control. would have it would have fit more with like the with like because he was essentially becoming like an animal almost
Yeah.
or so you could have had two people with the or another person that deals with a mutation. And also if they did use Wolverine in this, you could have teased almost like a mini Hulk versus Wolverine part 2 because we did kind of see like part
Damn,
1.
Wolverine, yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
mean,
it would have been like a rematch.
yeah, almost.
Yeah.
Except no difference. Because I'm like, all right, so again, I'm bringing comic book bias into this. I'm gonna let y'all know ahead of time. So there's something called Captain Universe, all right, and it's almost like Superman esque powers. That Spider Man is temporarily Captain Universe, and guess who Spider Man fights with the Captain Universe powers? The Incredible Hulk. So, I mean, that's the scene where he said he punched the Hulk into space. That's how
Yeah.
powerful he was as Captain Universe. So I'm like, okay, so he's going through this metamorphosis. Why not let there be a real test of his Spider-Man abilities not being enough? Spider-Man is more than enough to take out 6 ninjas with some fancy doodads. So I feel like the whole subplot of the metamorphosis is wasted on the hand inside of a prison when it should have been used against the Hulk.
Yeah, like I think that would have been a way more interesting scenario because then people be like, "Oh shoot!" Like they see like the inhibitor break and then they see the levels of the arachnid rising again.
Yeah.
The eyes going black because the eyes going black is a cool feature. I like that in this
Yeah.
film when like especially like when he fought Scorpion, he grabbed him and just threw him against the cop car like he had the symbiote on or something. Which I'll get
'Cause-
into something because the symbiote thing is kind of something I a little bit wish was happening in the sense of like I'll touch on this a little bit when the trailers happened and the Black Eye was happening, a part of me was hoping that the symbiote that we seen from No Way Home finally found his way, right?
Right.
And was on him. But it's a different effect than what happened like to Toby, for example. It's not something that kind of just, you know what I mean, as we see him sleeping throughout the night and then it just takes over his suit and then he just wakes up upside down, farming aura, right?
Yeah.
Like this high it's a slow effect, right? He just
Yeah.
noticing his powers are changing. It got to grow over time. It's just not instant, like boom, full suit already, ready to go. And I think that would be interesting. There's something I kind of wish, you know, I mean, in my fan brain of him having a little bit of symbiote, and then by the end of the movie, it kind of reveal like you see like the symbiote do something to him, then just go straight to credits. I think that would have been interesting. It could just be me though.
No. I totally agree with what you're saying because the whole point of the metamorphosis should have implied that Spider-Man was not physically capable of taking care of something. So
Mm.
he could easily take care of Scorpion. He did it in the early montage, even though they brought Scorpion back. He beat up Tombstone. Like he had an encounter with the Hulk. That's the ideal character in the Marvel universe that Spider-Man can't take because of the strength. So, but back to what you were saying, Speed, about the symbiote. And Jay, you can chime in on this, of course. But how do you think a null focused movie would work in the Spider-Man trilogy?
I would do that if you wanted to make this Venom take different, so it's not so it doesn't mirror Spider-Man 3 too much, because and then also, like, if you do Null, it would also fit with the multiversal arc that we're into, because when Venom left like a part of himself in this universe,
Right.
he still remembered um when he went back to his universe, which would go back to like Null, because all of the symbiotes have like universal. It's like a hive mind,
Oh, okay.
and and they have like universal or like multiversal knowledge still, because it is a hive mind. So it would fit if they did do Null.
All right, because I didn't see Venom 2 or 3 because I want to protect my higher brain functions
Yeah,
from bad
and then
movies.
I know a lot of people didn't watch Thor: Love and Trash,
Ugh.
but yeah, they did have Gore the God Butcher in there too, so it would fit.
Yeah. So okay. So all right. So what really did the metamorphosis mean though? Because it meant everything in the world for the first trailer, but I don't feel like I don't know. I feel like they were just kind of like
Uh,
forcing it to be important, like the whole inhibitor and all the other stuff,
yeah.
when it really didn't mean anything as far as the stakes are concerned, as far as Spider-Man goes.
Yeah,
It was just kind of like an embracing, you know what I mean, the two halves thing, not trying to separate. It's like I said, that's why I put it with the Toby scenario, right? With
Yeah.
him trying to separate his two lives, but him at the end of the movie, he kind of accepts both sides of himself again, like how Toby did. And when his powers are working now at full swing at him, embracing everything, becoming stronger, more durable. That's why when he got hit by the hand, the electricity staff or whatever, the stun gun or whatever, it broke the baton thing,
Yeah.
and his webs are more durable. Durable to adapt to the guns that they were shooting at him and stuff like that. I think it was just him embracing his side that he tried to suppress, because it could be like he wants to be normal, right? To be with MJ and that again, but
Mhm.
do that responsibility, him repressing the arachnid side, the Spider-Man side, he was just making it worse because he needs to accept that side of himself that he is this hero, that he is Spider-Man, right? So him trying to put the inhibitor on to lower that kind of Spider-Man side so it could be like normal in a sense. And so like he just wanted to control it, right? Not lower it to where he has no powers, but at least to mandate it so he can know what he do what he needs to do. Instead of just putting it on the back burner. But him embracing both sides, now he's one with both of the human and the arachnid to do what he needs to do. So I think it was just that. That was signified in him being okay with himself. Because there was kind of two messages in the movie that was given.
Right. Like the self identity and all of this stuff, and right. Because all right, because there's an instance in this movie where Spider-Man gets shot. Now, this reminded me of the Age of Ultron when Quicksilver got shot. Now, unlike Superman, I love when almost every other character in DC and Marvel are OP momentarily. With this metamorphosis, I feel like he should have done something superhuman to both save Jean Grey and not get shot. I feel like him just turning into the bullet, like I wasn't feeling it. I'm like, come on, you're Spider Man, you're a hero. You have webs? You don't got to physically touch her to move her out the way. Like, do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? It's like he forgot he was a
yeah,
superhero or something. It's like as soon as he realized that Frank was trying to kill her, he could have just said, "Pew."
yeah. I just think they did that choke so we could get another comic panel with 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 the Punisher carrying Peter. That's a comic too.
"Oh,
Uh,
yeah, that's from Civil War, the Civil
yeah,
War
yeah,
comic."
yeah.
But the whole like,
But
and then he's like,
I
"At
mean,
least you're safe." He's like, blood just spewing out of him. He's like, "You don't even know this girl." And again, it's another instance of female villains being given a pass because they went through trauma. Just like they did with WandaVision. It's like, oh, I can't believe all this happened to her. You held a whole town hostage in a mental thrall, and you're the victim somehow. Jean Grey, she had like thousands of people, like almost like the Professor X Logan, when he uses almost the same effect. But it's like, you gotta get out of here, Jean, because something bad she's killing people in this movie. What are we doing?
Yeah, I don't think I don't think there's been any true like women villains. Yeah, all of them.
Oh, Hela was a villain.
Oh yeah. That's like the only one really.
Like the goddess of death, so you couldn't make anybody.
Yeah.
Oh no! They tried to in Ragnarok. They tried to make. They were like, wait, Odin, you did all these things. Remember, they like made her forget.
Oh yeah.
They tried to make her sympathetic too. Hela, somebody named Hela. Oh, let's make him feel for Hela.
You're right about that Scarlet Witch, bro. You know how many people I see in the comment section talking about, I feel bad for Wanda. Poor Wanda. What you talking about? She had a city held hostage for weeks.
Yes.
What are we doing here? That Wanda thing threw me.
So this goes back, Speed, to the point you made earlier. What the heck is Professor X going to do with this crash out?
Hey, bro. Hey, everybody needs a second chance, right? Everybody needs a second chance.
No. Okay. All right. I'm going to insult your intelligence here, Speed. Do you know how many people are in New York? Do you know how many people are in New York?
She's OP, bro. Hey, you got to take the good with the bad. Did she kill some people? Absolutely. Is she OP? Absolutely. So
no, I'm not mad about her being OP. If anything, okay, this is another reason why I don't like this iteration of Jean Grey. They nerfed her powers and gave it to a made-up sister, Sarah. I'm like, what? And then like Peter determined that she could only jump into people at a 33-foot radius or something like that.
She could jump. She makes a chain basically to extend her reach, but whoever she stops at and wants to go back to, she can go back to herself instantly. That's why people were kind of confused about how, because people were like, Peter stopped to do it on the helicopter. How was she able to get to MJ? But the thing is, they explain it in the movie that she can reset. She goes back to herself when she stops the connection, so she can start a new chain to continue. I see a lot of comments on it. That's why I wanted to touch on that. If you watch the video, if you was confused about that, she left the guy. She goes back to her original self, the host, and then she starts a new chain, which still reaches MJ.
Right. So, all right, it's still movie bullcrap as far as Jean Grey is concerned. Because again. Now, Jordan, you've seen X-Men: The Last Stand, and you've seen Wolverine and X-Men. And untrained Jean Grey is OP.
Yeah.
I mean, Speed. Professor X and Magneto are going to recruit her. There are cars floating in the neighborhood. This woman is so powerful when she's untrained. She has so much raw power. So, again, since this is a tie-in, these are breadcrumbs for the introduction of the X-Men into the MCU. How are you going to tell that backstory about Jean Grey and get me excited about it? Or longtime X-Men fans? So now there's no Professor X, there's no Magneto, there's this chick that looked up into the air conditioner and said, "You murderers!" She immediately knew. She looked up and saw Ventmax because the word VMAX was in her brain for some reason. So.
Well, it was that machine too that like put her brain under stress, to that little.
Right, but the reason why she saw VMAX was because that's the last image her sister sent out. So not when the sister got kidnapped. Conveniently, the point of her death was the only image or the only message that she got, VMAX. So I'm like, they are deconstructing X-Men mythology and X-Men lore to fit it into this PG Spider-Man movie. And I have issues with that as a X-Men comic book dude. Go ahead, Speak.
And I was thinking that, right? Because I was like, since they're doing, because I know, like, even though I wasn't a fan of the X-Men, I watched the movies. I remember seeing X-Men First Class, seeing Wolverine. I think there's a Wolverine 2. I did I complete Wolverine 2? But anyways, that's why I know like the characters and stuff. I seen X-Men Apocalypse.
There is no Wolverine 2, but Wolverine.
Hey, that wasn't. That's why I think I stopped halfway, bro. I'm gonna keep it a buck. That's But that's why I know in the sense of the characters like themselves, like it just like kind of the lore and all that stuff I'm not really into, right? But it's in the sense of like the characters, and I know like Beast and everybody, like I'm familiar with like those.
Okay.
So I'm thinking to myself because I was also that was one of my things too that you brought up. Since this is the MCU, you kind of got to make it tie in with everybody, right? So when the things were happening in like Infinity War and Endgame and stuff like that, they got to kind of make it seem like Professor X and Magneto, like what was happening with them during that time. You know what I mean? Could they're big power characters too, even so what was they doing during this whole event with Thanos? You know what I mean? So
Like,
that's why I wonder how they're gonna tie that in as well, because that was major. That was like a giant staple in the MCU that we know. So how are they gonna really build that up is what I'm wondering. It's in
I
the
mean,
tying in X-Men.
right, and again, at the end of the movie, you know exactly where she's going on this bus.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
like, okay, she's going up to Westchester. I guess she's just going to knock on the door since Charles Xavier has nothing to do with Jean Grey being recruited anymore. So it's like, I'm a mutant and I kill people. Let me in. They're looking for me. Like,
Yeah.
that sucks. I'm talking
Well, John, this is the same MCU where Tony's basically Peter's Uncle Ben. So yeah, I don't think they really care about origins.
Okay, you don't have to care about the origins, but what's about the lore of a character? Like, imagine if Peter. Okay, I'm gonna go kind of whack with this. Imagine if he got bitten by a dog instead of a spider. Would anybody buy? Would anybody buy that?
It doesn't sound as cool, dog man.
Yeah.
That don't sound nearly as cool.
No, he would
It's
still
the
be
dog.
Spider-Man. No, he would still be Spider-Man. If he got bitten by a dog instead of a spider.
Okay.
Like,
Okay. Yeah. I get you. Yeah.
like
Nah.
origins do matter. Lore does matter, and
That's like the Craven movie.
and my thing is this: if you're going to Jordan, Jdagod, if you're going to change something, make it better.
Yeah.
Be more creative.
Yeah.
Don't make it suck. 33 feet for Jean Grey. This chick got cars floating down the street as a little girl.
Yeah.
Well, I have a theory on that. I just think that was just Spider-Man's interpretation of her powers, but I think she was like toying with him. I don't think that was really her limit.
But that was the sister said though. The sister also established that it was 33 feet that they can go to, and then that's why also that was the reason I'm bringing up the reset as well, because the sister also explained the reset when they were sitting on the bench. She says you can only reach her, right? You can't reach her. That's why you got to touch her, then her. You can only go 33 feet. But if you want to stop the chain, you just go back to yourself. That's how she was still able to get to MJ. And when you correlate what the sister was talking about.
It's like, why 33 feet? Like, 33 feet, what does that mean? It's like Superman being nerfed to 83%. Like, what's up with these numbers? Like, y'all don't know how to tell stories with OP good guys? Y'all know how to tell all these stories with OP bad guys. Y'all know how to tell OP good guy stories?
But I guess you got to make her be able to be stopped because if they made her like super OP in the original, I guess they're like, how was Spider-Man going to be able to contain this threat on any level?
But see, that's why
that kind of thing.
That's why the third act shouldn't have been about Jean Grey. Because Spider-Man, as I said, Spider-Man will always have a moral issue. It will always be about morals to Batman. It will always be about morals to Spider-Man. It's always morals with the X-Men, but not for this Jean Grey that's just mowing people over and using old ladies.
Ran over.
Right, using old ladies as patsies to drive a tank, to drive a bomb into a government building. All right, so we talk about nerfing. Now, one of the biggest issues is the nerfed Punisher in this movie. How did y'all feel about the nerfed Punisher? I'm not talking about the John Berthal. I'm talking because I personally like the interaction between the actors, Tom Holland and John Bernthal. I thought that was excellent the way they interacted as actors. But how do y'all feel about the nerfing of the Punisher character?
Me personally, I didn't mind it because I already went into the movie with the expectation that like he wasn't going to be headshotting people like he was in his Punisher special that came out.
Right, it was right before this though. So the last image we have is him axes, breaking the fire axe off the wall, using guns, throwing people off the top of.
He should technically be on the most wanted list.
Yes. Spider-Man's like, hey Frank, like this is a murderer.
should have damage control going after him.
Exactly. They were about this redhead, and this guy murdered a whole project building.
That man took out a whole neighborhood, bro. In 30 minutes.
Did you see it?
Oh my.
Did you watch Punisher: One Last Kill?
Yeah. That
Oh,
murder
man.
fest.
The special ends with him blowing somebody's brains out for taking somebody's hat.
On the side of the street.
Broad
Please
day,
don't
the last
don't
image
hurt
is
me.
this. Oh, he
Yeah,
took my hat.
exactly.
Boom. Go fade to black. Like, come on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Hey, that was Disney just trying to catch a check, bro. Hey,
Yeah,
man, they just wanted a quick check. That's all that
Oh.
was.
yeah, I already knew we wasn't gonna get nothing like that. So I didn't have a problem with him with like his portrayal in the movie. He was like the I wouldn't say like mentor, but he was like the helping hand in the movie.
He definitely wasn't the mentor. I'm not saying.
Yeah. I don't think he was a comic relief either, like somebody said earlier.
Okay. Hold on. The way his scenes are framed, they are framed for comedy. Even if he's not saying, let me tell you something.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah, but it was him like him being serious in the moment was funny. It was like dry humor. It wasn't. It wasn't.
Jordan.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. That it's framed for comedy.
Yeah. Yeah, but he wasn't like over the top goofy until like the last 5 minutes.
No, I didn't mind that. People like, oh,
Yeah.
I didn't have a problem with that.
Yeah. I felt like his character actually made like a complete it was like a full circle moment actually, because like he's like every time we've seen him since like Netflix until now, he's lost everything. He's like he has like the most depressing story.
So okay,
out of any of the heroes we've seen. That was like the only time he's felt like any sense of joy was around Peter.
Right. Okay, but remember the last time we saw him, he's like he looked like a crazy person sitting at the grave, talking to ghosts of his family. Okay, so we got this guy that murders people that do wrong. We got this other guy that in red and blue with white eyes, Spider-Man, that will save the person that does wrong. The first time they meet is nothing. Like we got two dynamically opposed philosophies, and we just get like this again. Is framed for comedy. Go home, Frank. It's like why didn't we see like the hard rock Punisher from One Last Kill that's sitting in the grave talking to his dead folks? Why didn't we see that gradual breakdown from that character to the one that's going ooh 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 at the end of the movie?
Yeah. I had said this to you. It was the day after I seen it.
I'm faking jabs.
Like,
no, I'm playing. I honestly don't remember.
No, but I had said that trying to remember exactly what I said. Dang, I forgot that quick.
It's about
Yeah. Oh my God, I forgot. Oh yeah. That scene where they kept alluding to Staten Island, right? Something happened on Staten. Yeah. And it was sort of like Hawkeye and Black Widow's Budapest. Like it was like an inside. It was like only between them. Like we as the audience didn't see what happened in Budapest. It was just them two characters kept alluding to it. I wish like the movie could have shown a first interaction. Would have been like Punisher or like on a mission, and then the Spider-Man shows up and he's trying to like save the person, but Punisher's trying to like kill. Right. And there's like a clash of ideologies as opposed to like the first time meeting being in that scene. Because then that scene would have meant more. Because like most people's like this is probably like some people's first time seeing Punisher for real, and they don't really truly know why he's like this. I feel like them showing a scene, like a quick scene, and it didn't have to be long, but just like a quick scene, like that ideology is clashing, it would have meant more for the movie.
All right, Speed, how you feel about Punisher?
I thought he was a really good character. I agree with you, John, in the sense of like their dynamic between the two actors. I think their scenes were great together because they worked a lot together. Tom Holland and John Berthel. They did a
You're in
lot
the
of movies. They
Odyssey.
just did Odyssey, yeah, exactly together as well. Even before they always been kind of close, right? So their chemistry like transferred over to the screen, which was really nice to see. Um, Unfortunately, they had the tone in the sense of him killing and stuff and being as brutal due to like the PG-13 rating and trying like to shove him there like somehow they at least try to make him like cuss as much or at least try to what I mean make him cuss. That's the like kind of bare minimum they could really try to get away with, other than like kind of what they did in his Netflix, not Netflix, in his Disney Plus special beforehand, which is kind of upsetting because um since that is canon, people will be confused on why that incident happened before this film, right? It just makes no logical sense when like you put it together like that. So that's why like them Disney just pushing stuff out and not really taking into consideration on like the
Mhm.
storyline that they're telling and being like thinking like just for 5 minutes. This Disney Plus special, how does this affect the Spider-Man movie that's legit coming out 3 to 4 months later?
Right.
Like how that connect? They really don't take and consider that because it was a quick cash grab, right? In a sense, from them to just have the Punisher do something crazy for the next hour and just bank on that on Disney Plus, and it worked for me because people watched it, right?
No, I'll
Um,
watch it.
yeah,
It's
I
great.
watched it. Hey, he was going crazy. I liked it. You know what I mean? But um, I do think like his the comedy sections were cool because he wasn't. I agree with Jay. He really wasn't goofy. A lot of people I
Right.
think
He was
feel like
right.
yeah, people put the goofy term on him without really knowing like the goofy term really like means or like they probably don't know what it means, but they're labeling goofy wrong, right? He
And
was
for the
being
record, we're
serious.
referring to one person that we all know that used the term goofy for Punisher. But anyway, continue.
But it's the dynamic of what he was doing, right? 'Cause he was dead serious. It was just the moments that he was in, right?
That's
Which
why I said
makes
it
it
was
yeah.
framed comedically.
Yeah, yeah. Like when Spider Man is doing like this in front of Punisher, like it do like talking to each other is it's a funny dynamic that's happening, even though it's a super serious situation because the Hulk is right next door,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
right?
Right. He
But
said, "Wait, you really don't want to
yeah,
fight the Hulk, do you?" He's like, "No."
no,
Yeah.
You know? But yeah, I think he was good though. It was just I get why people have gripes with it. Me personally, it didn't affect me much, and I do enjoy the Punisher. It just didn't affect me to the extent that I know it really affected others that are really heavily into the Punisher. They really want to see him because I originally, when I heard that he was going to be in this film, I did kind of want their ideologies clashing kind of heavily.
Right.
Like, but then we add in the PG-13 rating, then it's like, right? Because this was rated R, I feel like they definitely would have went crazier into him. You know what I mean? Killing some people. This Spider Man be like, "What are you doing?" Da, da, da. You know what I mean? Then the
But see,
clashing would probably be harder.
I
We'll get
understand that Spider-Man is geared towards children, is geared towards a general population. Whoa, did I say general population? General audience. I'm sorry. Gen Pop is a jail term. I apologize. But it's like, okay, so you spent all this time, not all this time, but you spent this time in the opening of the movie with a montage. You couldn't throw a montage involving the Punisher in it?
Yeah, quick scene of you like saving them, so you can
Staten Island?
understand their
Right.
whole Staten Island thing.
Right. Because
Yeah,
I'm like, there's really no reason for the Punisher to be in this movie. There are no stakes for the Punisher in this movie.
I think they kind of wanted just to keep it That's why they had like the argument near the ship, right, to MJ. So like it's open to interpretation. That's why I feel like it kind of hopes they didn't show the scene. Like we would have loved the scene, right, because we love the
Right.
Spider-Man Punisher dynamic.
Yes.
But then if you see a scene, then you could be like, yeah, he did save him, or no, he didn't save him, right? So them like keeping it open ended to where like they're arguing and you don't know whose side is right or wrong. It kind of leaves the illusion like the Budapest thing, to where who knows who's right, who knows who's wrong. So they just capitalize on that.
Right, but you're going to side with Spider-Man regardless because Punisher's a murderer.
Yeah,
And so
yeah.
again, if you replace the montage with Punisher, as you said, going on a mission to kill somebody, he don't have to kill anybody in this movie. We have to see him have the same ideology and the same mindset to kill without you actually seeing the bullet go through somebody's head. I mean, like he did in One Last Kill.
I
So
guess that's why the Jean Grey thing happened though. He
what you
tried
mean?
to kill her, but
right,
but
and that's
he
that's a
cause he
Punisher
was gonna
moment.
drive that girl. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
he shot. Oh no, he's gonna kill her. He shot the
Yeah.
bullet. Like, yeah.
That was a big bullet.
Oh man, that thing's like a 40 cal or something. Yeah.
I
So
don't like this.
I just feel like, again, I don't know if I'm being too harsh on the movie because we brought up a lot of stuff that I just don't agree with. I think that's why my grade is so low. Again, it's not a to me, it's not an A movie, but it's good if that makes sense or whatever. Because I'm like, okay, if we're really furthering a story, why can't we have more characters that mean more to the Spider-Man mythos rather than Punisher and Hulk? Like you could have introduced the Black Cat as the person that protects MJ, and that way you have, I don't want to say a love triangle between Zendaya, Black Cat, and Spider Man, but Zendaya reads the letters. She's the love of Peter Parker's life, but also Black Cat can do more than Zendaya can. She can help him fight crime. She can help him fight Punisher. She can help him fight Tarantula. She can help him fight Scorpion. So Peter Parker can almost admire Black Cat, and then Peter Parker can fall in love with Felicia Hardy. So I feel like that makes it the movie more centered around Spider-Man by having Black Cat instead of Punisher. And was that you, Speed, or somebody sent something in Discord saying that Brand New Day took scenes directly from the Insomniac games?
Yeah,
Was
yeah.
that
I
you,
think
Speed?
me and Jay probably posted. We probably both posted it because we both heavily looked into that. And yeah, they took a lot of scenes from that.
And the person that's fighting instead of the Hulk was the Lizard. And I've said before, if it was the Lizard instead of the Hulk, again, we're only concentrating on Spider-Man related characters and
Hmm.
supporting characters.
Yeah, yeah. You know, it's another kind of issue, and I'll just touch on this a little bit because I should have bought it earlier, but I just thought about it. Right? If we do tackle these villains that pop up again, how do you think they're gonna deal with it in the sense of Tom Holland Spider Man, since he kind of already faced them in the sense of knowing
Yes.
their names? So do you think they'll go down like he would go down the prejudging route in the sense like let's say he meets a Doc Ock, for example, right?
Right.
He meets a Doc Octavius. He's automatically gonna boom think I gotta stop this guy, right? Before he even has the idea of even be creating the arms and stuff like that, right?
Mhm.
So I just wonder how that dynamic will go if they do introduce a character that he kind of faced earlier in a different universe, like the Lizard, for example, or let's say a Norman Osborn pops up in the future or something, or
How
a
is there no
Harry
Oz?
Osborn, but he's
How the freak is there
yeah.
no Oz in this trilogy or this universe?
Like let's say he introduced Harry Osborn, he get close to him. Let's say he knows a guy named Harry, right?
Right.
He get close to a guy named Harry, and then he gets his name known as Osborn. Boom, right?
Right.
He gets suspicious, right? He's suspicious because of the name, right? But he doesn't really know yet, right? Until he meets his father, let's say at a school or something, they're out in public, run into the dad. He's like, "Hi, I'm Norman Osborn." Now you got that interesting dynamic of like how he's gonna tackle that situation with the knowledge of the other universe,
Right.
right? So I just wonder how that's gonna do if they ever do tackle villains that are similar to ones he already faced.
I mean, okay, so maybe not. They have to introduce Oscorp. I'm sorry, you have to introduce
Mm,
Oscorp. It's almost like Gotham City not having an Arkham Asylum. Like Peter Parker's
mm,
New York has to have Oscorp in it. And remember, Ned Leeds in the comic book, all right, was framed as the Hobgoblin. We've never seen the Hobgoblin in live action. And the Hobgoblin is close enough to the Green Goblin, yet different enough to where you can introduce him without people being confused as to who the Hobgoblin is.
yeah, yeah, I
Jordan,
get
you
that.
awake? Jdagod, you
Yeah,
awake?
that's probably why they shied away from using a typical villain in this film because of the question you posed, Speed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it just something that's unfortunately a thorn, and I could just be it's I could just be bugging, but it's just the fact of that, you know what I mean? Like he will be prejudging, or you had to write it in this that he's prejudging, you know?
Yeah, because in a perfect world, they would have introduced Harry and Oscorp in this film for the like the new trilogy. But
yeah.
since Tom is married to Zendaya, they're not getting rid of her MJ,
Yeah,
and
I don't
they
expect him to.
yeah, and they probably figured we probably just keep Ned in this too.
Yeah. I mean,
So
I think for movies 2 and 3, there has to be like a overarching villain,
yeah,
like Tom Holland can't defeat this enemy in movie 2, but then you can introduce Miles Morales or Ben Riley or whatever, so that it's not Tom fighting like a Null or a Moreland by himself. But
yeah,
I think Tom has to take his man. He might have to kill off one of them in a second.
yeah. I would introduce Oscorp in the second film and kind of steal from the game where they had Oscorp discover the meteorite that the symbiote was on.
Oh, Oscorp did that in the games.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, cause it was Harry that got the symbiote, almost like
Oh,
the ultimate version. Um, but yeah, I don't know how they would tackle Harry. I feel like if Harry comes in the picture, then Ned would almost have to die. Almost, I feel like. Yeah, I don't think they would have him have two male friends and an MJ.
can't have two
That
male friends. Like that's a
yeah,
crazy statement. Like that's an insane statement. Peter Parker, who has gobs and gobs of female and male friends, can't have more than one man. That's just a
yeah. No,
insane.
I'm just talking from like a casting standpoint. I don't think they would give him two mainstay two. Like I don't think you would have a Harry and a Ned. That's kind of overkill.
I mean, think about it. We don't have an Oscorp. We don't even have
Yeah,
a Daily Bugle.
yeah,
Like how don't we have a Daily Bugle
yeah.
or a,
It's a podcast.
oh yeah, right, they do
Yeah,
have that. But even
but yeah,
other than Jonah, there's still a whole staff of people that are essential to the Spider-Man universe. Like even Ben York, who got killed in the first season of Daredevil on Netflix. He used to work for the Daily Bugle. Like Betty Brant was like a love interest of Peter Parker. I already brought up Ned Leeds. So I'm not gonna bring him up again. But yeah, it's just a lot of stuff. Like it's kind of insane to me. But all right, so what made this movie a A for you guys?
Uh,
it was really just the Spider-Man stuff and how similar it was to the games. Really hold the games in a high regard. The same way I hold the Arkham series games. It's like the best Batman for me.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I'm still waiting for a Batman movie to copy most of the stuff we've seen in the Arkham series. The closest thing we got to that was the warehouse scene.
Oh
That
yeah,
was 5 minutes. Everybody still talks about that. Like I would
yes.
love for a whole movie to be him moving like that. Jeez. So
Mhm.
um yeah, just like that. I wish it wasn't like a montage, but like all the comic stuff. I feel like I just like seeing that. Um, I just felt like they tried to like course correct the first trilogy for all the
And
mistakes John Watts did, which
that's how I look at the metamorphosis, trying to course
yeah,
correct.
yeah, because I don't know how you get a signed on to a Spider-Man movie and you don't even like swinging. Jesus, like
Yeah,
that's crazy.
that'd have been the first sign that this was the
Yeah.
wrong person. I'm like, thank you, John. Goodbye.
That was probably the first question on Daniel Creston's application. Do you like swinging? Oh man, but yeah, I just felt like it was like a return to form to the actual Spider-Man character.
Okay.
Even though it wasn't a true villain, I did like it was still like a good antagonist to me. So that's why I didn't
Bill Minsker was a good antagonist to you.
for like what it meant to the like him and Jean together. What it meant for Peter's story. Yeah, but like them by themselves, no.
Okay,
Uh,
all right.
yeah,
You saw my posture, like
yeah. Yeah, but I don't need an actual villain for it to be a good story. Um, like would I have liked a traditional Spider-Man villain? Yes, of course.
okay,
I think
does the traditional antagonist make it a better story?
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, because it like because all the Spider-Man villains are made. Of course, like, I don't want to sound redundant, but Spider-Man villains are made for Spider-Man.
No. I know
So
they're
yeah,
tailor made for
yeah,
Spider-Man. Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, it would fit with the story because all of his villains are personal to Peter,
Right.
which affects Spider-Man. So yeah, it would have made a better story if they actually cause like if they did like a Craven or Mr. Negative even I feel like Mr. Negative even would have fit this story well because that would have been tailor made for the for his for the for all of the for like all of the mind games that Gene was trying to play. He
Yeah.
could have did the same thing. It would have had the same effect. And like even with Mr. Negative, he could get inside your mind too the
Mhm.
same way. It would have the same effect if he tried to get inside Peter's mind and he couldn't because the man spider entity was like blocking him or like if he would have got inside his head and he would have seen that he was trying to suppress the man spider and that was like messing with he was having trouble with the dual identity crisis that he was having. Uh,
Mhm.
um, could have had that story too, and Mr. Negative has the physical aspect too, because he has actual powers.
Right.
So
Right. Right.
yeah, so yeah, but that like with Gene and Metzer being like the antagonists, I didn't have a problem with that too much to where it like dropped. 'Cause I was so enamored with the Spider-Man corrections. I guess.
Right.
Uh,
But to that point, like they replaced Spider-Man corrections with Jean Grey mistakes as a
yeah,
character.
yeah. That's the only thing. I'm more forgiving though, I guess, because of what he did in No Way Home with like him fighting Green Goblin, him fighting like well he pretty much fought the Sinister Six. It was, so it's like I don't know like what villain you would immediately follow up. Only thing you can really do after that, like if we just talking like a traditional villain is like a Venom or something, but they didn't go that route with this film. So
But again, like you and Speed have alluded to, like writing,
yeah,
like
um,
you can write almost anybody into like being a great character if you have a
yeah,
single super. Yeah, I mean, like it's the whole thing
yeah,
with like Clayface. I don't know if you
hmm
saw the trailer Speed for Clayface. It's like like oh yeah,
yeah,
Clayface can turn into different people, but
Hmm.
live action is automatic body horror. So
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, so
yeah,
if you think
absolutely.
like a low tier Spider-Man villain, like an Electro, who we already seen in Amazing Spider-Man 2, or like the Hobgoblin, like the Hobgoblin, it becomes like a Halloween, like it becomes like a horror movie, like with like a
yeah.
comic accurate like guy flying with a Halloween mask on. Like that's crazy. All right, so Speed, what pushed this movie to an A to you?
Uh, it was a variety of things, right? And my
Mm.
personal grade could be different from like the movie standard grade. But I gave it an A
Yeah,
minus.
I
But
think Jordan gave
and
it
I'll
a
and
B.
I'll touch.
Yeah. It was
Yeah.
a
So
for
I'll touch on why it's A minus for me. I thought the cinematography was really well done.
I
The
agree.
shots that they
Yeah,
used were great inside the mask, and the first person point of view angles were really good.
that
yeah,
swinging
Um,
scene. Oh my god, the
yeah,
beginning of the movie.
yeah,
yeah, the
yeah.
swinging.
All the,
You felt the weight of Spider-Man like swinging in some parts. Like it was really good. Also, I think
At
the
one
fight
point, you
scenes
went
were really well
past
done.
trees. You saw like this kinetic energy, like blow the trees a little bit. Yeah, that was
yeah,
awesome.
Yeah, yeah, it was nice. And him like swinging, and he would like kind of the I think it's called inertia, right? Excuse me if I
yeah,
get the term wrong. But when after he was just hovering, and then like he had to fall back down when he looked over to his left and seen like the cop cars going by. I love that weight of him like swinging, and he knows how to control it, right?
Yeah.
Even though he know how to control it in other films, right? But it was a cool thing to see more swinging in this film per se,
Yes.
right?
Oh no, Jdagod
Also,
just
oh yeah,
finished. Okay, hope he
oh, he
comes
probably had a
back.
DC. He probably
Okay.
had to come back.
Yeah.
Um, but also it was just the music. I like the soundtrack. I think the soundtrack was really nice. There's not a lot of memorable stuff. Don't get me
Yeah,
wrong,
I'm about to
but it's
say, I
like
don't, I don't know this soundtrack
the
at all.
initial theme. Like if like because I like the music, right? So before this film happened, one of the songs were released by the composer, like the main theme of what he wants to go for this film, and it was a good theme, right? So and I heard it when the movie was happening, it was really good. So I like that. That gets a good grade for me as well. The acting, I felt Tom Holland when he was in those scenes really with like Punisher and Zendaya. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Those were really good, especially like that rooftop scene where he got mad because like Jean Grey took over MJ. You know what I
Yes.
mean? I really felt that scene, the puffy eyes, you know what I mean? Like that was good. Also is like yeah, like we discussed his dynamic relationship with the Punisher. So that gives a high grade for me as well. The
Mhm.
combat stuff, the story obviously has some better points that could be added to it. You know what I mean? Like in the sense of the villain that's there and stuff like that, and certain dynamics on increasing the aspects of the arachnid side that he was dealing with. Those could definitely been increased. But for what the story is, it's like it could have been better, but it's not a bad story. You feel me? Having the government, you know what I mean, take things and do bad things. It's not a bad storyline. It's clear cutter. Like it fits in. It's fine. It's something you piece together. But just get your pieces together, don't make it bad. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Um, so it's like that kind of thing that really
Jdagod,
works out.
you back?
Yeah, yeah. Sorry,
You
my
good, Jay?
my phone died. Sorry.
All right.
But those things on top of that, oh, also like the references as well. I thought were really good. I really loved how they really focused on the Spider-Man aspect in this film. That was a
Mhm.
really major highlight for me, and that really affected my personal grade. Him being in the suit, him even doing little things like drinking coffee with the mask on, and that Punisher even tackled like, "You told me you can't take your mask off to drink a cup of coffee," and like him explaining like I wear the mask for everybody because that's something that he has to focus on now is wearing that mask. Because I'm glad they
Yes.
took a lot of effort in. Him going everywhere with the mask on, just the city loving him, especially when after he got shot in the hospital, their
Yeah,
care
that was
for
cool.
him in the city.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the cop dynamic. It's all those things together that really makes my grade an A. You feel me? And there's really not like major flaws that I really see in the film that brings it down tremendously. Like there were some aspects in the story that you can like fix and touch up on. Like nitpicking stuff. Like example would be like showing him going to work one day or something like that. They could have shown something like that, for example, but it's not something I'm really like super missing out on. You feel me? Of him, let's
Mhm.
say, going online and sending a picture to J. Jonah Jameson or something, right?
Mhm.
Little stuff like that. That really didn't affect my grade much to where that's why it's an A minus for me.
Okay. Um, talking about it with y'all, like, I'm wondering if I'm just being like a curmudgeon. You know what I mean? But like, it, these, okay, I'm a little bit older than you guys. I'm a lot older, but it's like I've been with Spider-Man longer. See, I didn't really want to bring age into it because that sounds like a cop out. You know what I mean? Like oh, I know more about Spider-Man than you do. But it's when I was a young boy, it's like the groundwork is laid for a character. All right, it's the same thing with Star Wars and the prequels. It's like okay, I've been established with this lore. This is what this character does. This is what that character does. So over the course of time, when those aspects change, there is a personal bias that I do have. Like I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like I have a bias about things that might seem like nitpicks, but ultimately I want a complete movie. Is I feel like a lot of the cameos were unnecessary. I feel like they were cameos just to bring more people into the theater. That's the only reason why I think Punisher was brought into this movie for more people to come watch the movie. Trailer 2 and trailer 3, we see that Spider-Man is fighting the Hulk. That scene lasted about 2 minutes of a 2 hour and 25 minute, a 2.5 hour movie. But the way they positioned it in the trailer is like, oh man, this is going to be a major plot point of the movie that somebody's going to take. I mean, again, it was leaked by Jean Grey, and somebody leaked it on the red carpet. I didn't know who it was, but they were like, all right, without spoiling, who's your favorite character? And the guy just came out and said, this black dude that did something for the movie. He said, Jean. And I'm like, Jesus. I'm like, Jean Grey is in this movie. It's like the unnecessary shoehorning of the breadcrumbs for the X Men in the MCU. stuff that takes away from Spider-Man, Jean Grey, like it's stuff that bothers me. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't like trailer trickery. I hate it. I do not like trailer trickery. When people are saying, "Yeah, Tombstone is going to be a major villain in this," I'm like, "Oh, okay, Tombstone's going to be in it." Oh, the Incredible Hulk. I can see the Hulk. Oh, this is a Savage Hulk in this movie. So it turns out the inhibitor worked on Nerd Hulk, but when Nerd Hulk turns into Savage Hulk, you can't control Savage Hulk, with psychic powers. So I'm supposed to be getting OP Hulk in this movie because Savage Hulk is OP Hulk. So Hulk is talked down by him saying, "Peter, it's me, Peter," or something like. Isn't that what he said? He said something like, "It's Peter."
Yeah, he is Peter. Yeah.
So somehow Hulk knew, based on a conversation between Bruce Banner and Peter Parker, that this Peter Parker kid was Spider-Man.
They met during Endgame. It's very subtle though, but it's a very overlooked thing.
Wait. Savage Hulk met Peter Parker.
The giant mixture of them two, the Hulk body, but nerd head. the Bruce Banner that's big. Yeah.
You skating on thin ice with that one, Speedster.
Yeah, but that's the way because I think like winning that form, they're kind of both mixture instead of just like instead of Hulk was fully being in the background. You know what I mean?
Because he clearly said,
they're mixed together wearing that form.
Right, because that you, Bruce? He's like, "No Banner," only Hulk or whatever. So Hulk lost the fight by falling down.
Yeah, he gave up.
This is Savage Hulk. Speed.
He gave
Savage
up.
Hulk. No.
he seen a little kid through that lens, bro. He seen a kid desperate. He like, I got you, bro.
It was that sun's getting real low with Black Widow.
Oh my god!
Like that, yeah.
Man, Red Hulk sees a pink flower blossom going to his palm. He can talk the Hulk down.
Bro.
Everybody can talk the Hulk.
He had no powers though. The Falcon, Jesus.
Hey, he had a vibranium. He had a vibranium armor. He had them wings. But anyway, so this is Savage Hulk. He has a crisis of now. Savage Hulk was never even a killer. All right. So the fact that he's throwing like haymakers at Spider-Man wasn't even like lore accurate either, because Savage Hulk is a large, confused child that wants to be left alone. So the fact that he was trying to kill Spider-Man was kind of ridiculous. They nerfed Savage Hulk a little bit. He was nerfed a little bit in this movie. So it's like, okay, so it's not even a proper Hulk, not even really a proper Punisher. Why the freak was Black Widow 2.0 in this movie? Why was she in this movie?
Another like tie-in thing.
Yeah, right, Yelena Belova.
More universe building, I guess.
And then she keeps acting like potatoes is funny. It's small potatoes, not big. This big. I'm like I almost cussed at the screen. Like, B, will you shut up? Like, and she can only be in a swimming pool. That's her office. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? So it's a whole bunch of unnecessary cameos. My thing is, why can't I get a Spider-Man movie that is just, again, Tom Holland did an amazing job. Why can't everything be about Spider-Man in his own movie? Why can't everything, like why do they think I need cameos for a Spider-Man movie? I don't. Spider-Man is cool without X-Men. He's cool without Punisher. He's cool without the Hulk. Unless you're going to make them the major plot point, because Hulk is not a major plot point. Punisher is not a major plot point. Jean Grey is.
It's like they focused on the Spider-Man aspect more. It's because since people were so focused on fix the Spider-Man, they were so heavy on the Spider-Man aspect to where they left a little stuff out for the Peter Parker aspects, right? Like him working at Daily Bugle or something like that, or how is he getting money? Like they left little stuff like that out, because they were so hell bent on making sure they got the Spider-Man part right. That's why I do that cameos and stuff.
Right, but see, I don't mind Peter Parker. Like, I know he's mostly Spider-Man in this movie, but I like Peter Parker. Like, Peter Parker is the greatest alter ego in all superheroes. I don't care about Bruce Wayne. I don't care about Clark Kent. Peter Parker is the best. So I'm like, why are they so afraid to like pull the trigger and just make everything about Spidey? Like, To me, that's a disrespect to the character. But again, like I said, Tom Holland did a great job. Ned Badalon, who plays Ned, did a great job. Zendaya did a great job. The visual effects are so good in this movie that I don't even notice them. Like, you know how sometimes like something like, oh man, that was a great effect, but I'm just so immersed in what I see. It's like I think Speedster mentioned the cinematography of the movie is excellent. The acting is excellent. The directing is excellent. But it almost feels like this movie was shot by two different people. It's like one director shot all the Peter Parker Spider-Man stuff, and somebody else shot the action set pieces with the unnecessary cameos. Like I almost felt like they were just forced into this movie. Like Hulk, I really don't think in his heart of hearts Daniel Destin Cretton wanted the Hulk in this movie. I don't see how, because remember, Hulk does not tie into his metamorphosis, going from Spider who the Jdagod said from Spider Boy to Spider Man or whatever.
Yeah.
That doesn't play a part. The assassin's bullet doesn't play a part. So what is the purpose of a lot of
Well,
things that I'm looking at? Go ahead, sweet.
it it kind of okay. So in the sense of in his own, they both had okay. So they had the similarity, right? Banner and Peter.
Right, the
They both have
genetics.
similarities and wanted to suppress that side of themselves, right? So they kind of have that battle within themselves personally on suppressing one half and the other. That's why he even had the thing on his arm, anyways. Banner did, right? Because
Mess
he
with the
wants to
She
suppress that
Hulk.
side. Yeah, right.
Jesus.
Um, so you can kind of say it ties in to that side of Peter because they're both kind of they're both dealing with that aspect of themselves, right? Neither of them are happy at that moment of that side of themselves to where it's going out of control, to where I try to suppress it. So I do kind of like the dynamic of that Hawk or Bruce Banner was the one to kind of help him with the idea when he went to
Oh,
the
okay.
school and
Now
talked to
now
him.
again
I think that was great.
now again, the acting between the two actors, Tom Holland and Mark Ruffalo, was great.
Yeah,
Again, the acting in this movie is great, but it's just a matter of where is it all going? Where are the stakes for the Hulk? After the Hulk gave up and fell, he took him to a psych ward.
yeah.
Okay, so
The
now
Hulk to
somebody
a psych ward.
so somebody can throw a Jello at his head and Bruce Banner, and he turned into the Hulk and destroyed the psych ward. Like, I mean, I'm kidding when I say that. So again, there's so many peripheral things in this movie, and I don't know if it's a part of Disney's deal that it has to be like an ensemble movie for Spider-Man. I don't know. Maybe that's why they threw Hulk in and Punisher. Because remember, MCU cannot use the Hulk without Universal's permission. They can only do Hulk in ensemble movies. But this is a Spider-Man movie. Why? 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 Like,
Go
did,
big or
did
go
we?
home. Yeah, I think that's their. I think that's their philosophy.
But see, that's to get people into the theaters.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
for
hundred
the
percent,
general audience. Like, so
100%.
I don't really think my greatest change. Again, this is not a bad movie. I love the acting, even though I don't appreciate where the lore of the characters goes. But again, John Bernthal and Tom Holland, great stuff. Tom Holland, Mark Ruffalo, great stuff. But they were still unnecessary for this movie. So my grade is still a high C, and that's why it's so many other things that are distracting me from Spider-Man. Like I don't want to be distracted from Spider-Man. I want Spidey, 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 Spidey.
I don't think we're ever getting a solo well, with this character at least. I don't think we're getting a solo Spider-Man just him story. Could be,
But Jay, make the cameos mean something to the plot of the movie. Make the stakes count. Like I don't have a problem with Hulk and Punisher, but make it make sense for them to be in the movie. Let them have stakes. Like again, everything's interconnected. Where's Punisher going after this movie? Where's Hulk going after this movie? We know where Jean Grey's going. Do you know what I mean? Like you
yeah,
can have
yeah,
50 cameos, but make the cameos mean something. So,
yeah,
any final words? Because this is easily our longest podcast. We're
yeah.
almost at 2 hour mark. So, you got any final words, Speed?
I just want to say, great job to everybody that worked on the Spider-Man film. It
Yes.
was a phenomenal movie. I had a blast. I bought a popcorn bucket. I was excited. It was a blast. I had fun. It was good seeing Spider-Man again on the big screen after like how many years was No Way Home? Like 4 years ago? Like
Yeah, like 5. I think it was 2021 or
5 years
2020.
ago? Yeah, 2020. Yeah, so it's been a minute since we've seen Spider-Man again, and it was fun. I can't wait to see what goes on after this. Great cinematography, great music. Hope to see the people that worked on it that they like the comeback, come back again. They did
Yes.
composer. You did a great job. Tom Holland, keep doing your things. And Zendaya, everybody, um, keep doing what y'all do, man. It's a great job, great work.
Jay.
Yeah. Tom leading up to this said he played a lot. He was playing a lot of the Spider-Man games, and it most definitely showed. He, he was he was doing a lot of Spider-Man PS4 stuff. Now I really appreciated how New York itself felt like a character in this movie.
Yes. Definitely
Seeing all
picked
the
up.
shots.
Yeah.
So that was really great to see. Just I just felt like most gripes I feel like won't change because I feel like with the direction they're going with this character is gonna be collab man.
Oh
So
my God. Collab, man.
yeah, yeah. So I think the days of like a standalone like Toby or Andrew like those movies I think we're past that. So
And I don't have a problem. Again, I don't have a
yeah,
problem with cameos. I mean, who else was around when Tobey Maguire was around? They
yeah,
name dropped
yeah.
Doctor
It's
Strange, and that's it.
yeah. So the only thing we can hope for is like better writers if what you like what you want John to come true.
Hey, y'all said mention the writing. I didn't even touch
Yeah.
the writing. Y'all touched the writing.
No. I mean that's the only thing that can make stuff better, like to make all these characters fit if they, for like the next movie you're probably gonna get like a Black Cat. You're probably gonna get more X-Men.
Hey,
You might
I need the
might see another Avenger or
I
two.
need the
So
first meeting of Spider-Man and the Human Torch because they are cool.
yeah. I'm dying to see them race. 'Cause I haven't I've been dying to see that for a long time. And that
Yes.
was a big part of the Ultimate Spider-Man games. Like you could have a race with it was like you racing Human Torch. That was
Racing,
a part
how?
of it. It
Even
was, it was,
why?
it was,
Activated?
yeah, yeah. It was like you swing through the hoops. It was like it's game stuff, John. It wasn't me.
Oh, it's almost like the Lego Marvel
Yeah, yeah,
thing. Go through the hoops
yeah,
and all that. Okay, all right, that's cool.
yeah. But uh, that was my dog. But yeah, it was just a well-made movie. Just appreciate the Spider-Man stuff, but just hope for better writing.
Yeah,
If you want these cameos to uh mean something in the future. But it was still a great, enjoyable movie to me. So give it
okay,
an
right. And I mean, even having said all that I said and all my issues with the movie, it's just the ending just left me like just so like deflated. And unfortunately, the ending of a movie is the last impression you have of the movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm like Jean Grey's driving off. She got away scot free. It's like the handshake with Ned undid the spell. I was like, you got to be kidding me. But anyway, this is a great, talking to you guys. I always love doing the tri-state boys. You know what I'm saying? Philly, Jersey, New York, Jdagod from Queens, New York, Speed, Jersey by way of Georgia. All right. And John Black 426 from Philadelphia. We are the tri-state boys. We are signing off. We will catch y'all next time. Peace.
Yeah.
I love that shirt. All right. And I'm sure I want to end it.